Hello, everybody. How's everyone doing? Welcome to another interesting Lottie Lagos event. My name is David Chuka, and I am the community organizer for Lottie Lagos. For those that are joining us for the first time, uh, Lottie Lagos is a community where we try to make people interested in motion. It's an inclusive environment for everyone interested in motion, where they can do their best work, grow, work together. And it's also a place where we learn new skills in motion design, especially using Lotte animations. You meet local designers and developers virtually or in person. So today's session, we're going to be having Ayodeji, who is a product designer at Kuda and community, um, also a community organizer for Friends of Figma Lagos. And today we're going to be talking about Lottiefiles, community advocates, my bad. We're going to talk about the Lottiefiles Figma plugin, right? We're going to be looking at all the different ways we can integrate the Lottiefiles Figma plugin and how it works. Okay, so I'm just going to bring Ayodeji on the stream in a bit. Hello? Can you hear me?
I do. Yes, I can hear you.
Hey, man. Okay, so I think a lot of people want to know who is speaking.
Okay, let me turn on my camera. Let me know if
Yeah,
you can see me.
awesome. Hey,
Yeah.
man. So would you uh, do us the honor of introducing yourself to everyone watching?
Yeah. So good evening, everybody, or good morning or good afternoon, wherever you are tuning in from. So my name
Yeah.
is Ayodeji. My name is Ayodeji. I'm a product designer at Kuda Bank. Also community advocate for Friends of Figma Lagos. So yeah, I'm happy to be here. So today we are just going to be having like a introductory session on using the Lottiefiles plugin in Figma.
Okay.
Subsequently, we will have like more advanced class sessions. But for now, we just want to just show everybody, how to add like animations to your design. Just give your designs a bit more life, right? So
Yeah.
just sort of like
Yeah.
make pop and
Exactly.
splash a bit. Yeah. So yeah.
Exactly. So thanks a lot for coming on the stream. I'm going to jump off now and just let you take over. All right. I'll be back for Q&A and just round up the event when we're done. All right.
All right. All right. See you there. See you there. All right, so I'm going to be sharing my screen in a bit. Please let me know when you can see it. Mm. All right, please let me know when you can see my screen. Can you see? Yeah. Okay, I want to believe everybody can see my screen. So I just have like some um placeholders that I've prepared to just give everybody a walkthrough. So I'm just going to show examples on how to use it on for web and for mobile. So we're going to do some basic stuff, and then we're going to do a bit more advanced animation, just so you can see just how powerful Lottie files actually is. Okay, so let me just start with this. Like for web, right? So like for website designs, for example, right? And I know that this is something that I'm sure a lot of us designers already do. Where we have like, so this is just like a hero section of your website page, right? So this is like what your what your users basically are going to see once they land on your page, right? So usually, for websites, you might have like maybe like a header text and like some copy at the bottom, sort of explain what the website is all about or what the product is all about, and then maybe like an image somewhere around there, or like an illustration or image or whatever, just sort of show an example of like the product or product itself, right? But it's also possible for you to add um an animation, right? Sort of give it a bit more life, maybe just show like a quick animation of how the product works, right? So for those that don't have the Lottiefiles plugin yet, so you can go to your community page, right? I'm just going to show everybody how to like install the Lottiefiles plugin first of all. So go to your community and then go to, so just search Lottie Files, right? I already have it installed, and then you can just plug and then you will see this here, and then you can just like try it out or just install it, or you can just stick to your just right there in your whatever page that you plan to use, right? Whatever page you plan to use. For those that have the updated desktop app for Figma, once you come here, just come to plugins and then just search Lottiefiles, and you can then just run it, right? And it will just run. Now, once you open up the Lottiefiles plugin itself, you can then set. So you are greeted with some example animations, right, that you could just quickly use. But depending on what you need to do, you can also just search for what you want using certain keywords, right? So for this example now, this is Lottie Music Festival website, right? So we want to do something that is music related, right? So then I could just come here and search for music, and then wait and see the different animation examples that have come out. So like you can see all of these animations, right? So I could just select whichever one that I want. So let's say I just want to go for this one, right? So I think I'll just use this one as an example. So you first of all you have to convert it to a GIF, right? Because I mean Figma does not um play, or you cannot import a Lottie file into your Figma board itself. So you have to convert it into a GIF. So once you convert it into a GIF and then you add to Figma, right, you should just add it to your page, right? So there it has added it to our page. So now I can now decide, okay, I want to expand this. I want to make it bigger, right? I just enlarge it, just make it a bit bigger than this. And also, once one way to check and be sure that this is actually in fact a GIF. Once you come here to your field, you can even play it here, so you can see that yes, this is in fact a GIF, not like an image or something. Yeah. So now you can then just play it and see, how the animation works. So then if I then decide to play this, to prototype this close section, for example, to be something like this. So just show you what it looks like. You just hold on a minute. Uh, okay, please just hold on. It's supposed to. Okay, it's not. Oh, sorry about that. It's not inside the frame. Okay, so let me just add it inside. Yeah, so now it is inside the frame. So if I go back, yeah, if I go back, it's so now you can see that it's playing. So let's try something else. Let's try something else. Maybe try another animation. So we can even go to like another page and see some other options. Okay, so this one looks interesting. So let me use this. So convert to GIF and then add to Figma. So I'm going to show that you can actually edit. So you can edit an animation even before you add it to your Figma board. You can sort of tweak it a bit to what you want. If you want to change colors or something, you can do that. So now you can see that it's already here. So let's say we want to change, maybe we want to change the background, right? So when you pick, um, the lot animation that you want, you can then come here and choose customize, right? And then you can then start to make some changes. So you can change the speed. For example, maybe you want it to move a bit faster, you can change it, or you can go back to the original speed. And then you can change like maybe like the color. Um, yeah, so you can switch up the colors and maybe you want something different. But if you then want to have a bit more customization, you can insert as an SVG first of all, right? So if you insert as an SVG, although it's a bit large, you can then, just give me a minute. You can then um, adjust it to what you want. Okay, yeah. So now this is the SVG, right? So now I can decide I want to tweak the colors myself. So maybe this color now I want it to be white. I don't want it to be um the yellow that it is. So now I've tweaked it, right? Then I can then turn this back into a Lottie animation. So I'll show us how to do that in a minute. But first of all, let's still play around with some other animations first of all before I show you how to turn an SVG to a Lottie animation. So now let's go to mobile. So let's say for this right now, for example, for a music player, right? We want to maybe add something that depicts a music player animation, right? So let's search for music. All right, so these are the options. So I think I want to use this animation. It looks like an equalizer. I think it will look good. But I don't want to just add it to Figma, because if I just add it to Figma, it will have a white background. So I'm going to change. Yeah, you can see it has a white background. So I'm going to change the background to be the same color with this. I'm going to go back. I'm going to select this color. Now I'm going to go to customize. I'm going to go to background, and then I'm going to put here, and then I'm going to save it. So you're going to apply that. Keep it here. It's going to apply that. Let's just hold on, because I want it to blend in with this. So I don't want it to have a different color. So then I convert it to GIF. Let's hold on for that too. All right, so we're done. So we add to Figma now. So now it's the same color with this background. So now I can attach it to design itself, and then I play this, prototype it, and see what it looks like. All right, so now we can see that now we have a music player animation in our mobile prototype, which looks really nice. Um, okay, what else? What else? Let me see. Okay, so now to show that you can turn an SVG to a Lottie animation, right? And then I'm going to do like another animation where we get to pull down and refresh. So I know that for applications like Instagram, even Twitter, so Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, you pull down on your feed, or even to TikTok, it will refresh the page and the content will change, right? So I'm going to show us how to do that. But first of all, so let me show how to do SVG to Lottie. So let's say, for example, we just have like an SVG. SVG files. Let me just pick something. Let's say MTN, for example. It could be anything really, any SVG that you have. Um, okay, this is JPEG logo. Okay, SVG. Yeah. So I want this. Why is it not working? Please give me a minute. It's meant to bring out this logo. Or let me just search for it again. Okay. It doesn't seem to be loading it properly. Okay. All right. So you've done that. Yeah. Awesome. All right. So now we have our SVG, right? So now we want to turn this SVG into a Lottie animation itself. So how do we do that? So we can go to the Lottiefiles website itself, right? Just lottiefiles.com, then come to design, then go to SVG to Lottie, right? Um, let us hold on. So yeah, so then we go to our file page and then pick our SVG file and import it. So Lottie is then going to transform that static SVG file and make different animations out of it. So now that we've dropped it, these are all the different animation types that Lottie has created just from that SVG logo. So now if I just like try this, I can see different transitions that Lottie has created by itself, and I can just decide to pick anyone that I want to use. So let's just go through all of them and decide which one we want to pick. Maybe one that looks really interesting. Um, so if you have like a static, maybe you have like you want to create a splash screen for a mobile application, for example, right? So and you want to make the logo, you want to animate it. If you have the logo and it's in SVG format, you can then just bring it to this Lottie files page and come to the edit Lottie section and then transform it into an animation, right? And then add it back into your Figma file so that it's a bit more lively rather than just a static um, logo for your splash screen. Um, so I'm just trying to go through all the different animations that Lottie has created itself. Then I'll just select one. So I think I want to go with this one that spins the MTM logo just for the fun of it. All right, so you upload to preview, right? And once you upload to preview, it adds it to your My Animations folder in your plugin. So when I come back to the plugin, oh sorry about that. When I come back to the plugin and I run it and I go to my animations. Now, in order for all this to happen, you have to have an account, right? So I mean, you can sign up for free on Lottiefiles. So now the animation we created has been added to, you know, added to my Lottiefiles plugin. So now I can convert to GIF and then I can add it to my Figma board. So I'm going to do that now. All right, so now I'm going to add it to my Figma board. Um, okay, so now it's here. So another way you can tell that this is actually a GIF, you can see that right here in the left panel, it looks like there's a play button beside it, and if you click on it, you can see that in the fill section, it reads it as a GIF. So you're sure that this is actually a GIF, right? So we want to create a splash screen and then just animate it using our animated MTN logo. So I'll just do this. Just show it as an example. So yeah, then I'm going to add this here, our animated logo. Just going to do a quick prototype, nothing too fancy. So I'm going to turn this to make this smaller. 6, yeah, just so now I want to prototype it. So on click, it leads here, and then from here it should transform to this after delay. Maybe 200, 200 not too slow. Yeah, so just so we see what it looks like. All right, so let's play it and see. Okay. Looks okay, but the frame is bigger than the. So let me change this frame to. This is iPhone X, not iPhone 13. Yeah. So now let's replay it. All right, so let's just start over. So click on the MTN logo, it loads, and then our animation is there. So I mean, this is just like a more interesting way of presenting your designs, or like adding a bit more life to your designs rather than making everything static, right? So like for splash screens, you can animate the logo a bit, just to give it a bit more life, or make it pop, as some clients would ask you to do, right? Okay, so I mean, all of this is still basic, so let's do something a bit more advanced, right? So now, like I said, I want to show like an animation where you pull down on this, right? All this content, you pull it down and it will load up for a little bit, and then the content will change. So this is an example of, like, say maybe like a photo sharing application, or maybe like on Splash. So first of all, I want to group all these photos together. So I'm just going to group it, right? So then I'm going to create a now that I've grouped it, I'm going to create a component out of this first of all, right? Create component. Then I want to create a variant. Now you don't need to worry about. I know variant is it might sound a bit advanced to some of you, but it's really not advanced. Okay, so I want to just change. Yeah, so this should be uh, fresh. I'm just changing the name though. It doesn't really matter what you call it. I just want to differentiate it, right? So this is going to be our default state. So this is what we're starting with. So we're going to. So the idea is we pull this down, and it should change to this. So for this, I'm now going to change the images. So I'm going to use the Splash plugin. Right, I just want to change the images so that it shows that when we pull down on this, it will change the images to what we set here. So I'm just going to quickly change all of this. All right, so we've changed it. So now we have two different, like, versions, right, of the photos that we need. So now I'm going to put this back here. I'm going to put this back here. So this is what we're starting with. Then I'm going to duplicate this entire frame. Yeah. And I'm going to change this last frame to this new set of images that we created, right? Then I'm going to bring this down a bit. One, two, three, four. Right. So this loading animation, I got it from the Lottiefiles plugin. I already pre-downloaded it, so I don't have to look for it again. So you could just go to the Lottiefiles plugin again, and then you could search for loading. So we could select any of this, right? Maybe I should just pick this one. So I'll show like two different examples. So for this example that I want to show, we are going to need the SVG and the animation itself. So I'm just going to insert as SVG, which is this one. And then I'm also going to come back to GIF. All right, so we have the SVG format and we have the GIF format, right? So now I'm going to put the SVG of our loader, right, first of all into here. So let me bring this down a bit more. Just going to add the here. Then I'm going to add the GIF itself, right? I'm going to add it here. All right, so the idea is you pull down on this, it will load for a little bit, and then the images will change to this, right? So let's now prototype this. You will prototype this to be on drag. Yeah, so on drag, smart animate. So from here, after delay, maybe I'll just put like 400 milliseconds, and then on tap, it then goes to this, right? So now let's see what it looks like. All right, so okay, I need to change the frame for this iPhone 13. Yeah. All right, so on drag, we'll drag it down, it will load for a bit, and then our images change, right? So this is just more or less to simulate what a pull down to refresh or drag to refresh animation would look like. You drag, it's not meant to drag the whole thing. You drag, oh, it means our animation is not working again. Um, yeah, so it's just, yeah, pull down, pull down, okay, load up, and then, yeah. So let's just try again one more time. Pull it down to load a bit, and then our images have changed. So just to show, like, when you pull down on content and it changes to something else. So yeah, I think that's pretty much all for our introductory class. So I mean, for subsequent, we still have like subsequent sessions where we show, like, more advanced things that you can do with Lottiefiles. Lottiefiles also allows you to edit. So Lottiefiles also has a editor itself that allows you to edit an animation. You can change it a bit more than what you want, right? So rather than just having all these examples that Lottiefiles has created itself, right? There's like a standalone Lottiefiles editor. Yeah, there's an editor that lets you tweak animations to be exactly what you want, right? But that this would be like for a more advanced class, right? So this is just an introductory session, just to show what Lottiefiles is capable of doing. So yeah, so thank you everybody. If you have any questions, comments, feedback, or if you have questions, basically, you can now ask questions, and I and David will try our best to answer. Yeah. So thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Ayodeji. I actually learned a lot, and I'm glad you try to use more, Nigerian stuff, like the
Yeah.
Lottie Music Festival thing and the MTN logo. This was really really interesting. It was really interesting. I did not. I mean, I learned more about Lottie files, the plugin, and also using it in Figma. If
Yeah.
anyone has questions, please leave them in the chat. If you have any questions, please leave them in the chat, and we would get to it. Right. So let's just wait for a couple of questions, maybe next 3 minutes. Mm, okay. Not sure. I don't think there are any questions for right now. But we would like to say that this you can always watch this video. It's going to be available on YouTube always, even after the stream ends. And you know, you can always come back and watch it and learn as much as you can from Ayodeji's presentation. The Lottiefiles Figma plugin is available to use. Okay, we have a question here. Okay. So the Kilson asked, how would you export that animation for developers? Is there a way to export it directly from Figma so that developers can use it instead of having to? Can developers export it themselves, basically?
Mm, as of right now, to be honest, so for Figma only allows Figma only allows export of PNG, SVG, or PDF, but you could then go to your animation sections on the Lottiefiles website, and then you can then download the Lottie file itself. So you can actually download this, right, and maybe send this to your developer. Yeah, so you can download this right from the Lottiefiles website itself, not from Figma.
Okay.
So it downloads as a .json file, which your developer can then make use of. Right. I'm sure the developer, you know what .json is. So yeah, or your developer will know what .json is actually. So yeah, this is what developers can then use in their code. So yeah.
Okay. So I would say, you know, probably there's no way for you to export it at the moment from Figma. Or hopefully, I hope there's a fix for that because sometimes you have to wait for your designers to send you the animation file so that you can use it. Well, this was really help. This was really useful. This was really helpful. The workshop, the tutorial. I learned a lot, and I'd just like to say thank you again, Ayodeji, for coming and teaching us this event. For people that would like to learn more about Lottie Lagos, we have a Twitter at Lottie Lagos. You can follow us there for updates. We have events occasionally. We're planning to have more. And if you'd like to follow up with when events are coming up, apart from Twitter, we also have a meetup, Lottie Lagos. So over there, we post updates and links for registration and all of that. So thank you so much once again for joining this session and hope to see you in the next one. All right. Bye.
All right. Thanks everybody.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.